Hi guys, right, I'm in the kitchen. Guess what I'm going to be showing? Okay, bit of background. One of the guys on the Teak forums, Vesper, he's got various technologies that he's using to create, well, I call it Vesper's Whiz Ball. It's this little ball thing that's completely abstract. I don't think I've seen anything like it. But anyway, he uses polymers to create it, which is like a plastic, and he mixes various compounds in various mixtures to create different types of plastic. Now, apparently he's had a few complaints from people that they can't do that because they haven't got the resources, the technology, the know-how, etc, etc. So, this video is an attempt by me to get people to think outside the box. Right. Now, when I first started to get into bidinis, I did a search for bidini on YouTube, sorted it by oldest first. I went from about 4 or 5 years ago, and I went through every single video. It took me about 2 months, I think. Maybe try again. Maybe about November last year, so just over a year ago. And I saw quite interesting ways of using different materials. So this, as I said, is an attempt to get people to think outside the box. Okay, what are we going to use? Let's take a look. Anybody know what this is? You got it. It's sand. It's been outside, so it's soaking wet through, which for what I want it for is perfectly good. Right. What else are we going to use? Wood adhesive. Any PVA glue will do. This is just so happen to what I'm using, what I've got to hand. Right, what do we create? Use a margarine tub, and voila. Unfortunately, the bottom didn't come out quite as well as it should have done, but oh well. Right, that's the surface. Right, moulds quite nicely. Right, and well, that took a hell of a lot of force to break it. Okay, and now I've got to clean that up later. Right, that one was my first attempt. Right, a little bit on the dry side, so I'll correct that. Right, so we have sand. We have one of these. This is a nice little device for peeling oranges. We're going to use that. And we're going to use some PVA glue. And what's the bet in the nozzle? Stuck. Oh, come on. Hang on. Let me put the camera down. Ding, ding, ding. Around the kitchen it goes. Oh well, pick that up later. Okay, this sand's quite wet, I think I've said. It's been outside and it's been chucking it down. So don't need too much. That should do. Right. Guess what we do now? You got it. We mix it up. Hold that. With wet sand it mixes up quite nicely. Make sure I get the bottom as well. Bit more, I think. When you're doing this, a lot of the water will float to the top. So you'll get a load of dry stuff at the bottom. I think that's why the other one didn't quite successfully mould. Doesn't take long to mix up. There's a very runny consistency. You don't need any speciality to do this. Right, take a look. There it is. It's a nice little goopy mixture. Right, you'll see it's nice and runny. Right, what do we do with it? Right, we chuck it in a mould. Hold that thought. I'm going to use the one that I used before, a bit so. Here we go. Just a margarine tub. Believe it or not, it is butter. Right, and all we're going to do is going to tip it in. Give me a mo. Oh, I've got some of it sticking. Oh, hold that thought. Come on. Out you come. I don't think this one's mixed quite as properly as it should be. Oh well. Yeah, I can definitely tell there's a colour difference in here. So I'll give it a quick mix in the mould. Just bear with me. Also gets quite a lot of air bubbles out. You'll get them floating to the surface. And there we go. Okay, let's take a look. She's in there, she's nice and level. You can see some of the air bubbles. And you can tell it's a sloppy mix. Right. So this is the stuff that it creates. It's quite hard. It basically goes like sandstone. Right? What can you use that for? Well, as I said, this is just a video to get you to think outside the box. Right? Now, if you mix PVA glue with, say, sawdust, you will get MDF. Right? Et voila. If you mix wet sawdust with PVA, right, what you will end up with is a runny solution a bit like the sand that have just stuck in the mould. Right? How can that be helpful? Well, quite simply, you can then mould it. You can pour it into a mould. Right? So you can make all sorts of wonderful shapes that you'd normally need quite a bit of tools for. Interested now? The material that you mix with the PVA doesn't matter that much. Right? Sand, just what I had to hand to do the video. I mean, most uses for sand includes either making sandcastles or mixing with concrete to concrete your drive, something like that, or build a house. So there you have it. Basically, think outside the box. Use a glue, mix it with something, you've made your own material. Anyway, hope that gives people ideas. Please feel free to comment, as always. I'm also quite resident on Keep forums from time to time as well. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.